But if you're a first-time buyer, please test the water before you go buy that powerful of a gun. Hello everyone and welcome back to AmmoMart.com. In the previous video, we did a brief history on the .44 Remington Magnum caliber, and we talked about its development, its past, present, and potentially its future. Today I would like to talk a little bit about whether it has any use or relevancy in the everyday carry world. In a word, I would say yes. And the reason I would say yes is because of the ability to shoot .44 special cartridges out of the .44 Magnum. That to me is a very, very, very useful tool in that I can have the best of both worlds, ultra power if I want to go hunting or some other situation, and then I can sort of dampen things down for an everyday carry gun using .44 special, which is an awfully lethal round in its own right. In fact, Frank Hamer once said that the best revolver in the world ever made was a Remington No. 3 triple lock in .44 special, and that's a guy that had been in enough gunfights to know. The question before the user is, how can I make all of this work? Obviously, this does not hit anybody's radar as a concealed carry platform. This, of course, is the Smith & Wesson Model 29. This is a -2 stainless with an awfully long barrel and an awfully heavy setup. You have to keep one thing in mind, though. I don't have an infinite supply of guns that I can get my hands on. They do actually make this in a shorter barrel, 4-inch for sure. And for those of you who might be curious, I'm sure our viewers can tell you exactly what would work for an everyday carry gun, barrel length-wise, to suit your particular needs. It's one of the interesting things I've noticed about doing this video series is revolver carriers are extremely picky about the barrel length that they like, and that's a very individual thing. With a little bit of internet research, you can see what your options are to shorten the barrel length. I have here a Taurus tracker. So by, of course, its own model designation, Taurus kind of intends these to be more hunting, but then they shorten the barrel. So the tracker, not sure what to make of all of that. This one, of course, is ported, and I need to be clear about something. This is in .357 Magnum. However, they do make the same gun in .44 Magnum. Perhaps a little thicker frame and a little heavier, but you can tell it starts to lean a little closer towards an everyday carry purpose. The .44 special caliber, should you choose to select that, is remarkably similar to the Magnum because it's the parent case. All they've done in the Magnum is stretch it, put some more powder in it, of course, maybe a different powder blend for higher pressure, and off you go. I can guarantee you it is at least as effective as 9mm if you look at the data. Definitely a lethal bullet in the right impact zone. Of course, this is a Desert Eagle from Magnum Research. Semi-automatic, of course, rotating bolt to help you keep the recoil down. Also probably not going to hit a lot of people's radar as an everyday carry gun. However, if you're a dyed-in-the-wool semi-automatic fan, the .44 Rem Mag does not give you a lot of options in that regard. They're all big mostly, which is to say the ones that are out there, massive guns, even the ones shown in the Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry franchise Sudden Impact, the .44 Auto Mag, by the way, a dreadful weapon related to its reliability and magazine availability and a lot of other things. That's one reason why that gun never caught on besides the price. Massive gun, a little more slender and lighter than this, but still probably not great for everyday carry. In a nutshell, your options are somewhat limited because everything being a trade-off in the firearm industry, I can get a lot of power, but that typically means I'm going to have to carry a larger gun with more weight, maybe a longer barrel to help dissipate the recoil. And let's talk about that for a second. I urge everyone out there, if you are an experienced revolver shooter and you've been around this game a long time, perhaps .44 Magnum with .44 special loads makes sense. But if you're a first-time buyer, please test the water before you go buy that powerful of a gun. Not because it's going to necessarily knock you off your feet when you shoot it. They're just more difficult to shoot. They're more expensive to shoot. And at the end of the day, you have to be responsible and proficient with the gun. That comes at a very high cost if you're just getting into handguns, and not something I would recommend people do that are just getting into the everyday carry universe. Yeah, people do it, but those are not typically people you find that are novice shooters. Tremendous power, tremendous reliability out of the revolver. Just buyer beware, know what you're getting into. And what we'll do later on in the next video is take all of these out onto the range, test their stopping power under our normal setup, and then test them at range to see how much power the 44 Magnum actually has. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week on the range.